Hello viewers, you're watching the Youth Dialogue and I am your host, Jennifer Sonko. So today, what we have on the table is Youth of the Month. So the reason why we decide to have Youth of the Month is to make sure that young people are encouraged and young people see the good work that other young people are doing, and this tends to motivate young people themselves. So that is why we decided to put aside Youth of the Month, whereby every month we get to recognize one young person doing extremely well. So this month, it happens to be a traffic officer, Marlon Kamara. I mean, this is not an individual that QTV chose. This is an individual that the public chose. The public reached out to us and said, Jenna, but we want to see Marlon Kamara on the Youth Dialogue as Youth of the Month because he's doing extremely well. So now, before we have a conversation with Marlon Kamara, let's take a look at a short video on Letter from Africa BBC by Adedrame. Our editor did a letter from Africa BBC that has to do with Gambian Code of the Road. So this is a story that he did in relation to what happens in the roads in the Gambia when it comes to how drivers behave, how drivers overload cars, and some of the regulations that drivers are not following according to that particular story that he did for the BBC. So let's take a look at that video. When we come back, we will get to have Marlon here and have a conversation with him because he's our Youth of the Month. We are congratulating him because the whole Gambia seems to be very, very proud of him. Let's take a look at that. When we come back, the show continues.
On moving to a new country, there are many things to consider. Learning the language always helps you get around. But if you are a driver, learning the road culture is a must. After 6 months in the Gambia, I popped back to the UK for a visit and I felt oddly disorientated, yet I couldn't figure out why. It was only on my 4th day when I heard a solitary beep as I was walking along that I exclaimed, "That's what's missing." It was the car horns. In the Gambia, a symphony of cacophony is so ever-present that a gap of 4 seconds would be considered an eternity. As you can imagine, hearing a car horn with such frequency indicates that Gambians have found many uses for it. These include saying hello to friends, expecting the friend in a crowd of hundreds to know it is them that is being greeted. Then there's the beep to warn pedestrians, "Don't you dare cross the road." Drivers deem it wimpish to allow anyone to cross, and it surprised me that Gambia has not produced many more world-class sprinters, as sprinting is the only way to get to the other side of the road. You actually get crossly beeped at by other drivers when you give way to a pedestrian. Rarely do you hear a courteous beep. I have tried, without success, to find out if it is a chargeable offence to allow other cars to pull out in front of you. In fact, many drivers seem to prefer to crash into another car rather than allow it to go on. This is borne out by the fact that I have witnessed the result of at least an accident a day since January, just in the small area I live and work. So, if you're travelling to the Gambia, here are some things to be wary of. Stopping at a red traffic light. It's compulsory in most countries, but it seems to be optional here. And those of us too scared to make the dash across are likely either to be prodded by the blare of a horn or overtaken by a steady stream of Formula One-like drivers. At times, you're driving along thinking, is there a fire somewhere? Only to realize that about 20% of the vehicles are belching out really thick black or white smoke. No one bats an eyelid at this. There are just too many of them. Vehicles blocking junctions. This is totally acceptable and something you will see every single day. But above all, remember, as you climb in your car, leave your good manners in the house, just as everyone else seems to do.
Marlon, welcome to the show and congratulations.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. So, Marlon, there are a lot of questions on social media. Today, I am not conducting the interview. The questions are not from me, but from the people, because the questions are so overwhelming that if I would have to ask my own questions, we will not leave here. So, I would just, because the public requested you here, and they're the ones asking the questions today. Okay. But before we go on to those questions, Marlon, talk to us about your childhood, schools that you've attended, and your level of education.
Yeah, thank you, Jay, for that wonderful question. First of all, I would like to say good afternoon to each and everyone out there. And I will say big thanks to the IGP of the Gambia Police Force, the Deputy IGP, the Traffic Commissioner, the PRO of the Gambia Police Force, and down to my SO, ASO, and the police fraternity for making this day possible for me.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much to them, because I know it was a whole process.
Absolutely.
Whereby we had to go through that whole process, because when it comes to the police, it's really difficult. It's just the PRO that is meant to speak to the public. But ASP Lamin Jai worked so hard and make sure that we are able to achieve this. Thumbs up to him. Thank you so much. So now, talk to us about your education.
Well, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Marlon Kamara. I was born in Dibakunda. I'm a graduate from senior and tertiary institution.
Okay. So which senior and tertiary institution?
I attended Mindao Senior Secondary School and now doing a course at MDI.
Okay, what course?
I'm studying management.
You're studying management?
Management, yeah.
Okay, that is amazing. So now let's go on to some of the questions that we have here on social media, that is on Twitter. This one is saying, what is the motivation behind his diligence and passion for policing, especially in traffic control? So what is your motivation?
Well,
yes,
the idea was mooted by me to join the Gambian Police Force in order to contribute my quota to the national development.
Okay.
Like what the previous officers of this great nation have done and the present ones are doing for the betterment of this nation. And to also pave the way for the younger generation to learn from us and do more than we are doing today.
Okay. I mean, you must have had other ideas previously. Take us through the journey. Take us through the journey. You must have had other ideas when you were going to school as to maybe you wanted to be an accountant or an economist. Did this police idea come to you since you were going to school, or it happened later? Take us through the journey.
Now, actually, when I was going to school, I was good at accounting.
Okay.
And my main aim was to be an accountant. But due to financial constraint, I couldn't proceed with my education. And I decided to join the Gambia Police Force. When I joined this Gambia Police Force, I did my training for 10 months. And my first posting was Piccadilly Police Station. I served there 1 year, and I was later moved to Tujaran Police Station, where I served 4 years. Later, I was moved to traffic under Marcos in New Union Police Station. And I could remember when I arrived at that station, I met the SO, who was very kind, very humble. And he said to me, "Welcome to traffic." He said, in traffic, try to know the job, try to do the job to the best of your ability, and do it for the sake of Allah, and one day you will see the reward. Okay. And I believe that advice he has given me is today I'm seeing the benefit.
You're seeing
I'm seeing the benefit a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I can say he's my source of motivation.
He's your source of motivation.
Yeah.
So when you're there, a lot of people say, "Malang mom smile rek." He smiles to everybody. Everybody that is using that particular road, you're smiling to everybody. So how do you manage to keep that smile all the time under the hot sun? You know, you're nice to everybody. How do you manage? Because this is a question that a lot of people ask on social media.
Yeah, as you know, traffic work is not easy. And much more, smile is something. Smile is a charity that everyone can give.
Yeah.
And every day I want to give more charity to the people. And I smile because I saw them that have passion on what I'm doing. And I believe smile can build a friendship. Through this, I was able to have a whole lot of friends on traffic. Yeah.
So the smiling is very important.
Yeah, smile is very important.
Okay.
Because it gives you more courage to work. Yeah, and it also allows the students, much more enough, my area I deal with school students.
Exactly.
And the more you show them smile face, you be kind to them, they will have the zeal, you know, to follow your orders, and they'll be willing to like you, and you can able to control them to and from school. Okay,
so which means the smiling has to do with the children as well, because you really deal with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you know, with children, it's some form of negotiation.
Exactly.
You negotiate with them. So obviously, when you smile at them, then they'll be like, "Ah, this is a nice police officer, so I'll be able to go to him and he can help me cross."
Exactly.
Because when we went to Yundum to meet you, we saw that you were helping a lot of kids cross, and you hold their hands, allowing them to cross. Seems like a lot of them like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. It's all about professionalism, tolerance, patience, humility, and show respect to each and everyone, and do not underrate human beings, because nobody knows what tomorrow might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So now let's move on to how you get to control drivers. How do you do it to coordinate them, you know, to make sure that the traffic is going on smoothly? Because when I talk to people, what they tell me is, Jenaba, when Malang is here, we don't have accidents, we don't have congestion, everything is moving smoothly. How do you manage, how do you deal with them to make sure that, okay, everybody's doing what is expected of them?
Yeah, Jennifer, as you mentioned, coordination. Coordination is the element of group effort to get things done. And as a police officer, I'm there to coordinate, and drivers are there to cooperate. I always tell them that, look, we are here to coordinate the traffic, and we are there to cooperate. Without your cooperation, it can be never easy with us. With your cooperation, we can able to manage the traffic the way we want it. And thanks to Allah, drivers are really willing to cooperate with us. And this has played a significant role on the road, because it has reduced the rate of accidents in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, in relation to that particular question, how drivers behave, we have Abubakar Jane on Twitter, who is saying, what do you think are the main causes of traffic accidents in the Gambia? How can it be minimized?
Well, the causes of traffic accident are huge. Using a telephone driving can cause accident. Distraction can cause accidents. Incompetent drivers can cause accidents. So that's why we deem it fit to make sure that every driver plying the road must have a driving license. So, you know, only your driving license can tell your competency. Yeah.
Okay, so which means people have to stop being on phone,
Exactly.
and people have to be competent when they're on the road as well.
Exactly.
It is something that is very, very important.
Yeah.
So now, moving on, I know I have a lot of questions here, really. I have a lot of questions, but I believe that it might be difficult to read all this. But Ibrahim Ajama is saying, great to have him on board. What efforts is he using to influence his colleagues in the traffic fraternity to be like him? What are you using?
Yeah, well,
because people feel like you are a rare person. Other police officers are not really like you. So what are you doing to influence them to be like you?
Well, I will tell you that Gambia Police Force, they are really doing well. Maybe it's my effort that is being recognized, but there are police out there who are doing extremely well, more than me. And I wish them too can have the opportunity one day to come here and share with you.
Marlon, you are saying that, but people outside who are dealing with the other police are not saying that. Because when I look at my comments, people are mad. People are like, really, with Malang is different. We are not trying to, this is what the public is saying. We are not trying to pick and choose anybody. All of the police, of course, are doing well. But there are certain things that happen in the traffic that other police officers do that you do not do. Okay? So talk to us about collecting drivers, their license, collecting money, and all of that. What do you have to say in relation to those things? Because they are saying that you don't do those things.
Now remember, as a police officer, I took an oath that I will serve my country to the best of my ability without fear or favor. And my principle number one is, I don't allow bribery. And all the police I work with, they don't.
Okay.
But bribery is something that can give you a bad image. We are here to serve them. And we expect drivers to obey all traffic rules and regulations. We need nothing from them, but let them respect the traffic rules and regulations. They are free to go. But if they want to play with the traffic rules, drastic action has to be taken. And when the driver is found wanting, we get you to the station, we give you a monetary fine, or we take you to court for the offense committed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time, checking on Facebook, a lot of people are like, police officers do not really take you to the office. They just get in your car and you have to bribe them. So I think the fact that you are saying you do not accept bribery is something that can, you know, affect your image. I think this is something that is very important, and I think police officers really have to not do that, because the moment you do that, you lose your credibility in relation to collecting bribery and doing whatnot. I was having a conversation with an individual, and the person told me that you are the kind of individual who solves the problem. When a problem happens in traffic, you try to see how you can solve it there, rather than having to proceed. So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm told.
Okay.
It's not like you pick the person, forcefully take them to the police. I even had somebody tell me, Jenaba, because Malang spoke to me, that particular thing will not happen again. So how's that? Don't you think maybe that's a better approach?
Yeah, it's very important. Like when problem happen between two drivers, you know, sometimes you need to be flexible. Flexibility is very important in any work you do. Right? There are certain offenses, it doesn't work for you to take them to the station. Advise them. Some people, the moment you advise them, they refrain from doing such action. So I always advise before taking any action.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very important until you do.
Yeah, I think Maslam is saying, what has been your motivation to do such a fantastic job on the traffic on a daily basis, which makes you stand out? I think this is a question that you've answered.
Yeah, it's all about having passion for my work.
Yes.
Yeah, having passion for my work and love what I'm doing and the love I have for my country. This has the thing motivating me to work hard.
Okay, Ibrahim Ajana again is saying, would it be possible for the GPF to engage the public on the rules and regulations of the traffic?
Yeah, absolutely, it's very important. It's very important because the traffic rules and regulations are very important. Without understanding the traffic rules and regulations, there will be always accident. And these are very significant that drivers need to know.
Do you think drivers know the traffic rules and regulations? Do we have a book in the Gambia whereby it's given to drivers for them really to follow traffic rules and regulations?
Indeed, we were having that book. I think we have that book, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we have that book. That book is still existing.
Okay, but do you think drivers are educated in relation to that? And if not, what can be done?
Well, I believe drivers are educated on that.
Drivers are educated on that?
Yeah.
You think?
Because they go in for testing before they are given a license.
Oh, they go in for testing?
Yeah, they go in for testing before they are given a license.
Okay. So our very own Ade Darami, he's our editor right here, and he has a very long and funny question. Okay. He's saying, why don't you and your colleagues stop all cars with one light and non-driving at night? After that, all those cars that have smoke and poisoning the lungs of our children, apart from that, about a million other questions. So now, talk to us about those cars with one light, with smoke. How does the Gambia Police Force deal with that?
Yeah, as you know, those are requirements, and they are offenses, of course. And when police come across them, they have to park them and give them a mandatory fine or take them to court. Because the requirements all need to function. Yes, for the purpose for which they are meant for.
And do you think that happens here?
Yeah, it happens. Police officers are really doing good, more especially those at night duties, because they are the one who can detect such offenses, and they are really doing well towards that aspect.
As well?
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped any car that has one light and is removing a lot of smoke to polluting our environment? Have you ever done that?
No, for me, you know, I work from 8 to 4.
Okay.
But like smoke, like vehicle emanating smokes, I always park them.
You park?
Yes, I park them, or sometimes I ask the guy, go to the garage and fix your vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not safe. It can cause health hazard, which is very dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, I think that's it. So now I went to your place in Oyundum, and then I spoke to some of the, because normally when we have a Youth of the Month, we go to people that really know our Youth of the Month to talk to them about what they know about you. So I went there with my camera lady. So we got to hear what people have to say about Malang. So let's take a look at that. When we come back, we will continue the conversation.
Kamara. It's Marlon I deserve because since they are long in slogan in 2014, for can I sign la every day, every day, I can manoka, Hatian Jane, GB don't know, came in Mena, I garde la Catalori Manoka. So I didn't know come ala dogo along Bakele. And Signado the Fonga Caramula 2015. Need drive left a bulla Kelokale down. On that day, Alani Malang. Manfred station I ko nyim banna because I kumol for me ala gon tol be giso suma ta jela andu ndata kun kelo la because drive nyim bonna fo basse ndaka bor brigama Westfield tontable le so but after dunda nyola jana after tamta na fujana ay taraji ay ngini karo ke be na cool explain after na da diam tanya ko nyi manke nyi slow kan driver din di mu driver ke walde ja do sin driver din le kané no ne ngil no ni bi dala bana police le ela do ko tinyata so after na ra diam tanya ndafo na ra yam fo bang because ndala moto tinyata bare ala diamo kan after na ra yam second time fana nana nda bem fana brigama same thing fana after fana ay tan na ko me ngi suute bakel ngay no ndal fo le ta suute akonye ko ne suute le dogo ni na suute le comme kamenke manokan so ndafana ngata suute le comme adafana kamenke so nde wo respect go ni wolbe ni malante ma since 2014 ay suute le kamenke manokan ndafana ngata suute le aka dogo menke slogan so wolbe nati man de riri mo kendo len adu ay membe so jang adisavle.
I am Ismail Ajata from Busumbala. I have been with Malang at the same school in Mindao for about 3 years. Malang, yes, he's a good boy and he's a very hard-working somebody, even in school. I always see Malang very active on the traffic. Malang never stand on the highway uselessly. Malang is always doing a hard work, and I wish every police officer to just be like Malang. When it's like that, I think our country, the traffic, the congestion of the traffic and certain incidents will not occur. I know that from Malang. Malang anyway, I know more about him. Yes, Malang always be working here, and I normally meet him here every day. Whenever I meet him, he's always directing traffic and helping people to cross across the highway. I have never seen at a checkpoint where Malang is, and I have never seen any accident or any problem at that area. Anyway, I thank God for him. Yes, and I'm praying for him, for his position, so that for him to go to be improved.
Man maa ngi tudd Abdouka Malang moom baax laa xam si moom ak liggéey ba pare dafa respect liggéeyam lu mu waat si Gambien yi mu ngi koo def waaw man loolu laa xam si Malang ba pare amul benn problème driver bu mu fi téye daf laa woon mu bàyyi la nga dem Malang musuta téye fii driver mu jël dara si loxom man loolu laa xam si Malang liggéeyam moom lu mu waat si Gambien yi moom mu ngi koo def moom. fii moom Malang bu fi nekkee moom trafic bi du bloc ba pare accident moom fii su fi nekkee du dee am moom. waaw xanaa beneen boor rek waaye fii moom musuma fekkee Malang nekk fii accident am fi moom yaa loolu moom dëgg la moom lu kooku wax.
My name is Ablai Jeng. I know Malang is a very hard-working police officer with respect, with discipline, you know. I really appreciate him. I never have any counter with him. I also always show him in the traffic, decent and hard-working guy.
Welcome back, viewers. That was absolutely beautiful. We went to Malang Sport, and that is what people have to say. People have to even say more, but we cannot, of course, play everything. But like I said, Malang has been requested by the public to be here today as our Youth of the Month, and here he is with us. So Malang, all those people had to say beautiful things about you.
Thank you to them. You know?
Yeah, they had to say very beautiful things about you. And one part that I like so much is when an individual said, if every police officer is like Malang, then at least the traffic will be smoother and drivers will be more regulated. But because it seems drivers, when you use force, it seems it doesn't work for them. It seems negotiation really works for them. When you use your negotiation skills, it really works out for them. Looking at the video, it seems that is the best thing. So now, Marlon, let's talk about being on traffic and COVID-19. You know, right now we know that we are battling a global pandemic. So how do you manage?
Absolutely, we have to do the job despite the fact that COVID-19 is in place, because we signed for it and we are there for our people. We cannot fall back and watch our people crossing the road, which is very dangerous to them. So therefore, we deem it fit to go. Even whereas it will be difficult for us, but we have to go out there to save our people, to regulate the traffic for the benefit of others.
Okay, so what do you do to protect yourself as a police officer?
Yeah, I'm having a testing. How do you call it again?
A face mask.
Yeah, I'm having a face mask that I normally use when controlling the traffic.
Okay.
Just that I was unfortunate that when you came in place, you know, I was not having it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course you do use your face mask and
always,
protect yourself. Yeah, because it's very important. Police officers are on the front line, just like journalists and doctors and nurses, because you guys are dealing with the public directly. So we must say thumbs up to all the police officers out there who are there risking their lives, risking the lives of their colleagues and their families to make sure that the traffic is going on as expected. So now, let's talk about generally some of the difficulties that you are facing as a police officer. As an individual in your profession, we all face difficulties, really. But what are some of the difficulties that you face?
Yeah, well, to any work, there are challenges, there are difficulties. But we thank God we are able to overcome them.
Okay.
Because some of the drivers are very persistent when it comes to following the traffic rules. Because they tend to use the footpath, which is very dangerous. And hence I am concerned, I don't condone that. You have to follow the traffic rules and regulations so that the traffic will move smoothly.
Okay.
Remember, I always tell them, look, we are here to coordinate and they are there to cooperate. And coordination can never be effective in the absence of cooperation.
Okay.
So I'm urging all Gambian drivers to cooperate with us so that the traffic can be smooth.
Okay. But now, what are some of the difficulties that you face personally, really, apart from that, doing your job?
Actually, the only difficulties I face is standing under that hot sun, in that hot sun.
Okay.
It's not easy though. It's not easy. Sometimes I have to have my bottle near me. The reason why I put the bottle here, because I never want to go off the road, leaving the kids to cross, because it can lead to something else. As we all know, some of the drivers are very rough. So therefore, I have to be on the road to make sure that the kids are safe. So sometimes I get weak, but therefore I have to just continue the work. It's because the love I have for my people and the love I have for Yundum community. Because those people have been there for me through thick and thin.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
absolutely.
In what aspect?
Yeah, because they are there for me in good and bad times. So people like that, so you have to kill yourself for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say good and bad times, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, because when I'm sick, these people will leave their homes. They will come to my place to visit me. You know, when I have good times, they have to join me. So people like these people, you know, I will never play with them.
Okay.
So I will not relent in my effort to serve them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems, Marlon, you don't want to leave Yundum community. Today, if you are supposed to be moved to another community and staying there, it seems it's your spot. So tell me about that. If you're supposed to be moved, will you be happy?
No, well, if I'm supposed to move, I will take in good faith. I will know that, yes, this is what God has called for.
Yeah.
Right? But I know Yundum people, they need me, and they never want me to leave.
Okay, so all those Yundum people, you're not the only people that need Malang in this country. We that are living in other communities, we want to also have Malang, because at some point, Malang, you would also want to serve other communities so that they will have the experience of Malang as well. But I know the people from Yundum are, right now, when I go outside, they will start beating me up because they will be like, we cannot lose Malang in that particular community. Yes, Malang, so we were talking about really what can be done to make sure that other police officers emulate you. This is something that people stressed online. I know I asked it before, but for some reason you don't want to go into it, but I have to ask it again. So what do you think other police officers really can do to be like Malang, to make sure that the public admires them as you are admired by the public?
Well, thank you for that wonderful question. And I would like to tell my colleagues out there, I know they are doing their utmost best in serving this nation, this great nation. And I would like to add more onto that. Let them try to be more professional, be patient, be tolerant, and show respect to each and everyone. Because respect is something reciprocal. If you give respect, you must get respect in return.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly speaking, they are really doing good. And I want them to add. To add and keep the momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, everything will be fine one day.
All right. So, Marlon, let's talk about female officers. You know, female officers under traffic. You know, I'm not trying to be a feminist here or anything, but how do you see them? We have very strong female officers under traffic as well, controlling it. What would you say to other females out there who would say, man, jigin la, I cannot be a traffic police officer? What do you have to say in relation to that?
Yeah, well, women are really doing good in terms of traffic, more especially my unit over there, because I can talk about them, I know them.
Okay.
They are really doing good because we have women who can even go and visit accident scene and take sketch of that scene, which shows that women are really willing to work as they has promised to serve the nation.
To serve the nation.
Yeah, they are really doing well.
Okay. Mboko yi ñoo seetaan tey nag luñ nekk di waxtaan dafa am solo foog ñu laal si olof bi because suñ yaay yi ak suñ papa yi out there they are watching xam nga ñoom tam ñu mun a understand Marlon life am naka la transitionné bam aga fii nii mu nekk police officer boo xam ne ñëpp ko admire man comme ni ma ko waxee woon rek man ooyu ma ko fi tey yéen a toog ko ne ma ne ma jeena ba Marlon dañ ko bëgg a gis fii si studio bi so ma bëgg a tamit suñ yaay yi ñuy seetaan suñ maam yi suñ oncle yi tamit ñu understand Marlon really lan moo ko motivate ba mooy def lu moo def so Marlon lan moo la motivate
well bëgg a suma réew moo tax ma jël liggéey bi pour saaf suma nit ñi because doomu réew bu nekk war nga xalaat yow loo war a defal sa réew bul wax yow sa réew la war a defal te réew bi ñun ñoo ko war a defal pour mu dem kanam li moo ma tax a jóg pour saaf suma nit ñi def ko ngir yàlla pour yàlla fay ma because liggéey bi jihaad la yaa ngi taxaw si digg yoon bi moto mën na la faa rey naaj yaa ngi tànga smoke yaa ngi ñëw si moto yaa ngi koy inhale di yëpp mën na laa jox feebar boo xam ne du la mën a bàyyi waaye yëpp yàlla lañ si jiital te yàlla lañ si ut moo tax ñu jóg bugg a def liggéey bi pour defal ko suñu nit ñi
loolu dëgg la so right now drivers yi xam naa ñu ngi seetaan nga wax ñu rek sometimes challenges yi nga dee face deal ak driver yi naka yan challenges nga dee face su ko defee ñoom tamit ñu xam ne xëj na suñu waree improve ñu improve
waaw dëgg nga face challenges jógee ko si driver yi because trafic dafa nekk loo xam ne dafa am ay sarta yow war a toppa te soo toppee sarta yi rek trafic bi dafa yomba waaye léegi-léegi da ngay gis driver bugg a jalkati yoon bi bugg a use footpath bi te loolu óorut dokkati tànkay foofu la ñoo jaar so maa ngi ñaan driver yi ñu mun a ma leen di ñaan stop action boobu ñu nekk si kaw tali bi soo gisee ñu digal tali pour driver yi la dañu nekk si kaw tali bi toppa trafic bi suñ ko defee rek dañoo am jaama dokkati tànkay am jaama ñun police bi tam noppale ko waaye suñu wooyee dañoo jalkati trafic bi rek du yomba si ñun
so ma xam ne tamit yow yaa ngi study management MDI soo paree management boobu lan what next lan ngaa def
waaw maa ngi study management te maa ngi def suma advanced diploma because maa ngi ko war a jeexal June bi waaye juutoo des feebar bi pandemic bi moo tax ben tey ñu ngi taxawangum su ma jeexalee suma course bi kay dama jël suma kayit rek forward ko to the police headquarters for promotion
léegi at some point yow bëgg ngaa dem ba xëj na nekk administrator fekka nga transition from traffic would you want that because xam nañ ne lii sa passion la lii loo xam ne la danga ko bëgg a torop so tey suñ la waxoon ne Marlon ñun daal léegi fi mu nekk ni yow boss lañ laa def nu moo mel
well I would take it dinaa kontaan si loolu
waaw ok
waaye maa ngi wala xalaat suma students yi because dafa nekk loo xam ne dem naa bi miin xale yi si school bi fële dañ dem ba toon excellent ñu ma dox tur sax
waaw lan mooy tur bi wax ñu ko
ma di ooyee ñankatang ma oo gaay duurang am na so kéet pour am caaxaan boobu suñ diggante da nga gis pour contrôle gaay sax day yomba because ñoom suñu ma gisee suba di ma de ñankatang di ma jox loxo am nga ay sama limite ngee reyante am maa ngi foyee gaay so dafa nekk loo xam ne am na solo trop si liggéey bi because xale dafa nekk loo xam ne soo ko miinale soo ko wanee sa boppa rek soo ko oyal fele sa boppa rek mu miin la te su la miinee pour nga contrôle ko daf day yomba trop so li mooy fond bu ñu dee am suñu diggante te sant naa yàlla si loolu bu baax.
ok dafa mel ni Marlon respect man ñi ma waxal yëpp lu nekk si Marlon dañ maa ne respect kon dafa mel ni respect si police officer dafa am solo de like it's something that is really important.
respect dafa nekk loo xam ne soo jonee police loolu lañ lay jàngal. te respect lu am solo la. foo munti nekk soo wanee respect rek di nga dem. nga xam kii sa moromi papa la. nga xam kii sa moromi mag la nga xam kii sa moromi yaay la nga jox ko respect nga wàccee sa boppa dafa nekk loo xam ne am na solo trop si doomi aadama waaw soo ko defee rek am si jàmm
waa dëgg la ma bëgg a laajte Marlon gis nañ fi yenn fellowships yi nga xam ne ñu ngi am online Mandela Washington fellowship bi yeneen ak yeneen fellowship ndax sometimes dang dee toog because looking at you ak normal bëgg nañ laa gis nga passé fii ndax sometimes dang dee toog try some of these opportunities that are happening online as a police officer to moving forward.
Since mo amee suma scholarship bi te scholarship bi maa ko amee si traffic bi since mo amee suma scholarship bi maa ngi focus di study pour mun a realize my aims and objectives. Wow.
So which means you got the scholarship on the traffic. How did that happen?
Yeah, I got this scholarship on the traffic. Yeah, because one guy met me and he was very much happy about what I was doing. Then he stood and called my attention. Then I went, I met him, and he asked if I would love to go to MDI. I told him, yes, I would love to go to MDI.
Nice.
And this guy happened to give me a check of $16,000 that I should go to MDI and do a course. I did this course. After completing my certificate, I was able to get 5 A's, 1 B plus.
Oh, nice.
I saw him the result. He was very impressed, and he paid the next level for me. Then I did 1, 2. I was able to get 7 A's, 1 B plus. Then he was so much happy that he decided again to pay the advanced diploma for me.
Wow.
And he said he's more willing to pay for me, hence I'm doing good in school.
Okay, any plans to go to the University of the Gambia?
Indeed, that's my plan, because he said when I finish this level, I can go to university.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm really working hard to see that happen.
Okay. I think this is very inspirational. The reason why this is very inspirational is because you talked about how financial constraints affected you when you just finished high school, when you really wanted to be an accountant. But everything happens for a reason. It's a step-by-step thing. Financial constraints came, you weren't able to do the accountancy, you are here as a police officer, and through that, here you are furthering your education, and effortlessly. So I think sometimes, you know, everything happens for a reason, and we just have to take the steps and take it easy. As we take it easy, we will surely reach where we're supposed to reach. So Marlon, I guess for now, we will have to wrap it up. I am so proud of you, and the whole country is proud of you. I wish I was able to read all of the comments online. I guess you will just have to give us your final words. So when you give us your final words, then we'll be able to go read some of the tweets as they come.
Okay.
Yes. So what are some of the final words? What do you have to say to all those young people out there who will say that we don't want to be traffic police officers because losers become traffic police officers? Because this is a very strong belief that young people have. What would you have to say in relation to that?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation, and thank all those who appreciated my noble work. And I would like to tell the citizens of this nation and non-citizens to be law-abiding citizens, and know that the police are not their enemies. The police are here to serve them. And know that police job is a noble job. And for me, I'm really happy about this job. And I will do my utmost best to raise the Gambia flag high.
Okay. So let's read some of the comments that we have on Facebook. Khadija Bokum is saying well-deserved, and Babukar Sam is saying ask him to keep up the good services. We have Malang, I salute you. What makes you earn the admiration of the public? I think you talked about what made you earn the admiration of the public. That is being respectful, being professional. I think you talked about all that. Babukar Manka seems to be your classmate. He's saying, glad to see my primary school buddy and classmate getting on your show as an additional recognition for his great service. Babukar Manka, he said you were in the same school together.
Indeed.
Yes. And Alaji B. Samar is saying, Malang is such a great individual who does his job with passion. I admire Malang for his admiration. Determination. Yes. So, and we have another one here. Mr. Kamara is one of a kind. He has raised the police banner higher. So it seems like we cannot read all of these comments because it's a lot of them and people are actually like saying the same thing. So Malang, thank you so much for coming to the show. We really appreciate it. We will follow your progress. One day, I know we will see that Malang is taking to another level. Inshallah, we're looking forward to that because you really deserve it and the public is saying that you really deserve it. So we're waiting for that day to arise, and then at some point we will call Malang back here to tell us how far you've gone. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Viewers,
Welcome.
we will take a short break and we will be right back. Viewers, that is all we have for you in this edition of the Youth Dialogue. But before I take a leave, Rugi's Creation provided me this outfit. I love it so much. I feel so comfortable in it. Her numbers are right in front of the screen. Take it, call her. She'll provide you an outfit as nice as this or even better. It is really nice. She's right there along the Manjai Highway, and she's a very young person doing extremely well down there. Take the number and do contact her. Don't forget to connect with us on our different social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My personal social media handles are as well in front of you. Take it, contact me, just like you contacted me to have Marlon as Youth of the Month for Youth Dialogue. Do contact me for other individuals that you might want to see on the show, because this is your platform. It is a safe space for young people in the Gambia. Till I come your way next week with other young people doing extremely well across the country. Stay tuned.